Hey, 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 life after lockup. Our favorite couples, Brittany Marcelino, Sarah Michael, Andrea Lamar, Angela and Tony, and Lacey and Shane. So I'm gonna go through really quickly because the episodes are drawn out for no reason. So this is happening during quarantine, it appears, because each of them are showing the beginning signs of how quarantine started and what it's starting to look like. So Brittany and Marcelino, they're in the house, and their house is kind of small for them to have three kids, two under the age of 3. I want to even say 2 because the little girl they had, she just was born. So, and Brittany's going crazy, and she's like, "Mars, we got to get a bigger house. Like it's too much. It's too much." And he's like, "I understand, but we spent all this money on the backyard." She goes, "What do you mean? We only spent 10K." And he's like, "Well, that's like if it's a basic kind of one we wanted, but you wanted a backyard, so I had to get more." So she finds out it was $25,000, and I'm like, "Girl, what? You could have got Chico and a man to do something cheaper for your backyard to make you happy." But Martha, whatever. So she's like, "It's just wearing on me being in quarantine, stuck in the house, bored, and nowhere to go, nothing to do, with 3 kids." I would have lost my mind because the space looks so small, so small. And she said it reminds her of when she was in jail. I get it. So she goes, "We need to go on a date because we haven't been out together, and we need to get out." So she calls her mom, who is an alcoholic, and it's like, "Yeah, mom, can you watch the kids?" And her mom is like, "Okay, I'm gonna watch the kids for you." And she says, "My mom has been struggling with alcoholism, and but she's been, doing okay. So I'm gonna let her watch the kids." You gonna let an alcoholic watch 3 small children? You could let an alcoholic watch 10, 11, 12. Maybe, because they could like deal with things for themselves a little bit, but not no babies. And they go out on a strip, and it's so empty. And people who have been to Vegas know Vegas is consistently constant traffic. No matter what time of day, night, weekend, it is consistent movement. And there were like 2 cars, and it was the middle of the day. So that is crazy. And then they come back, and Brittany's sister is there. She's like, "What are you doing here? Where's mom?" And she's like, "Oh, mom called me to watch the kids, and so she had to go home." And she goes, "Mom has been slipping." I'm like, "Oh shit, here we go." And she said, I just got a notification that my account balance is under $50 and I can't find my debit card," which means your mama stole your card. Again, all this is your fault because you knew better. You knew better. I wouldn't. There's no way in the world my mother has an alcohol, drug, whatever, that I'm gonna just be like, "Yeah, ma, watch the kids because I gotta get out." You might as well. Why don't you ask your sister? If she's doing anything anyway, why don't you ask your sister to watch the kids, or take one over there and then 2 over there? Anyway, Sarah and Michael, like, I don't feel sorry for Sarah. I don't. I mean, and I don't feel sorry for people who had one piece of shit mistake, fine, and you deal with a loser, and then you have the same baby with the same loser because you thought what? He wasn't doing shit with the first one. So why would you continually see him and date him? What did he didn't even show you anything new before you got pregnant again, Sarah? You stupid. She goes to the gym and is talking to her friend about she didn't need much exercise because her and Malcolm had a good workout last night. Whoop-de-doo, Sarah, you had sex. And her friend is like, Malcolm is so good for her. He opens her car door. That's good. That makes him, I mean, yet, like, I feel like a lot of these girls, their expectations are so low that anything above normal or anything above, I don't even know anything above, I don't even know what to say what is above for them. Open the door. That's okay. Then she says she wants to talk to Michael about Malcolm coming, and she just wants him to know. She keeps calling him and calling him. He's not answering the phone, and she goes, "Every time I talk to him, all he asks me about is the cake for the party." He don't know what to say to not set you off because y'all always get into an argument. So maybe that's his defense mechanism. I don't know. Then Michael's saying he's going to his mom's house to stop off before he goes and sees the kids, and his mother is an old enabling ass witch. Like, I don't know if what he tells his mother makes her think he's a good father, because the mother's like, yeah, Sarah needs to stop acting like that because you a good father. At least you want to see your kids. He ain't seen them kids in 3 months. What you talking about? He ain't called them kids in 3 months. What you talking about? Like, why are you acting like Michael, and you an idiot for even feeding into the bullshit. Like, she don't see you on TV after the show airs and be like, damn, I look stupid. And then Sarah goes to therapy, and she's telling her like how she doesn't want Michael to be around the kids for the weekend, even if he's not with Maria, and how, he doesn't put the kids first, and she's putting the kids first all the time, and how she's tired of being a full-time mom all the time, and how she don't get a break. Well, bitch, you should have thought about that when you opened your legs and got pregnant with no protection. You should have thought about that then. I don't feel sorry for you. You put yourself in this position, not him. Y'all both, you did and he did. So it was a combination of the two. So your life for the next, now you what, 2, 3? No, the little one is 17 years, full-time mom, and he will not be helping you unless you get married and you have a co-parent or a husband that will help you. You did it to yourself. So whatever. Moving on. I don't feel sorry for her. I'm sorry. I wish I had the empathetic gene. I don't have it, because certain situations can be avoided, like hers. She'd had the one. Her daughter knows her father ain't shit. She said, Daddy, don't call me back. She knows. Okay, fine. You move on. You keep taking care of her and let it go. But for you to have another one by the same person who ain't doing shit, like, why am I getting riled up? Let me stop. Andrea and Lamar. So Lamar takes Tennyson to his cousin Dulo's house, and he's asking Dulo, like, how do you know what's a good area in California? And he's like, yeah, well, California has come a long way. It's like 70% safe. Where? Not where y'all living. And Tennyson is like, yeah, well, how can I take that from you? Because you just got shot. Go and take your son some money. Oh, that was an accident. And he goes, well, how do I tell a safe neighborhood? If there's no bars on the window, or people are not jogging and walking their dogs. Then Dulo lights up a blunt, and Tennyson is like, and Lamar is like, and Dulo hit the smoke. And then he offers Tennyson some, oh, you 18 now, so you can have this. I thought anybody could have it at in California, but maybe it's the 18 age. I don't know, because I don't smoke. But Lamar did come to his opinion, like, nah, he don't do that. And Tennyson's like, nah, I gotta keep my mind and my body pure. Like, I'm not here to do that. But talking about he was testing him. You don't test no 18-year-old, you grown-ass man. And Lamar was like, yeah, nah, we don't do that around him. We don't smoke around him, none of that, because he's still a kid. And he did step up for him. But at the same time, how about when he starts lighting up, say, all right, we'll head out because, I don't want him around this, and I want Andrea to flip it. Instead of you saying, don't tell your mama about this because she's going to flip out. Like, she not going to see it on TV? Like, all right. So then they go back to the house, and then Priscilla, her oldest daughter, and Tennyson are talking, and he's telling them, Priscilla's telling Tennyson that Mom was talking to me about sex in the pharmacy. Like, that was the most hood. Andre, you talking about you don't want to live in the hood, you don't want to be hood, but you in the pharmacy talking about sex, because that couldn't be talked about in the car or at the house or outside in the backyard of the house. Like, what? And then Tennyson says, yeah, you know how Mom is, she's so loud. Then they talk about how they miss Utah and how safe it was, and Priscilla tells us that they moved twice to LA. I was like, oh, well, Andrea did a lot, so I don't know how they got back and forth, but okay. Then he says, yeah, we was at Dulo's house, and she goes, how'd that go? He's like, well, he lit up, and he tried to ask me to smoke, and I was like, no, because, but to Lamar's defense, he did tell him, no, we don't do that or whatever. And she said, well, take Mom to a restaurant in public and talk to her about it, because she's going to freak out and get all loud and crazy. But, okay. Angela and Tony. I can't do Angela's voice no more because it hurts my throat. So they sit in the backyard and they talking, and Tony's still trying to beg for his life to come back because he's tired of being in a hotel. Angela doesn't believe him. He's saying he lost the best thing that ever happened to him, which is her. We find out Angela has a master's degree in counseling. Is that why she smokes so much? Because she hears so much information as a counselor? I don't understand it. But she's like, I don't want to have to counsel him and love him at the same time. And he says, well, what I learned is I have to learn how to treat people how I want to be treated. Isn't that how the regular? Okay. And then Angela tells Tony, we're not even married, Tony, because I haven't even filed the marriage papers, Tony. So we're not even married. And he's like, what? But you still married to me? And he still goes on, yada, yada. And then she tells us that she found somebody named Ross, and she was talking to Ross while her and Tony were going through it. And she loves Ross, and she loves Tony. But she has a smoking problem because they show her, and there's no break or lapse in time. They show her smoking. As soon as it gets almost to the white part is over, she puts it down. Another one. Like, damn, Angela. But anyway, so that's Angela got another thing she got to tell Tony about, because you on his ass for talking to somebody else, and you, well, talking and sleeping, but you was just talking to this man, going to visit him in jail. So what's the difference? Lacey and Shane, they finally lived back in, they've been together for 3 months since they talked apparently the week before. I believe the difference from last week's episode and this current week's episode was she was quarantined, and I guess production couldn't figure out how to film. They've been in the house for 3 months, and they say it's going good. They're not arguing, and they're trying to have a baby. Lacey, you got 2 kids you barely take care of, and you want another one, and you want to do IVF. The blind leading the blind, y'all. We're going to see what's going to happen next week, and that's all I got for Love to Lock Up. Talk to y'all later.